National Guard was just seen with these robot dogs. National Guard was just seen with these robot dogs in Los Angeles that has a camera on its back for facial recognition software. Now, we all know the potential that these things can do, from flamethrowers to a bunch of other things, but that right there on the front of the dog might be a crowd disperse weapon, loaded with tear gas and a bunch of other things to make crowds disperse. Now, the facial recognition software is supposed to help identify people that they're looking for and also people that are in the system.
Senator Duckworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to follow along on my colleague's chain of questioning. General Smith, I share her concerns and the concerns of the other members of this committee about the mobilization of the 700 Marines in response to the protests in Los Angeles. I am a Marine Corps family. My father, who lies at rest in Arlington, served in the United States Marine, only for a few years. He was an Army officer for the rest of the time, but that man was a Marine until the day he died.
And once a Marine, always a Marine, Senator.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. And now, even if this is technically legal, what the president is doing under an expansive interpretation of Article 2 authorities, I believe it is incredibly unwise. I don't condone violence or property destruction, but using active duty Marines for domestic protest response sets a dangerous precedence. When citizens around the country, not just in California, see Marines on the streets of America, it risks damaging their trust and politicizing a force that must remain apolitical and mission focused. President Trump is asking Marines to be away from their families for a situation that the president himself said yesterday was, and I quote, this is what he said yesterday, simmering but not very much, end quote. Do you, General, have any concerns about the moral injury of Marines who are now being tasked to face Americans and deploy their community in an unprecedented way? And what are you doing to address those mental health concerns?
Senator, Marines will execute their lawful orders. I don't have any concerns that about their moral damage. They're executing lawful orders that they're trained to do. They're completely confident and they're capable of conducting protection of federal personnel and federal property.
I have no question on their ability to do their jobs. They're Marines after all. My concern is the moral, the psychological injury to Marines who are going to be told to turn on their fellow Americans. We know, and would you agree that there can be hidden injuries such as mental health injuries to Marines, whether they're at war? When you go to war, would you agree that there are hidden injuries that can happen, such as psychological injuries?
There are psychological injuries when one goes to war, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are you concerned that there might be psychological injuries to the Marines who are being told to turn on American citizens during this deployment?
Well, Senator, I would say that these Marines are not being told to turn on their fellow citizens. They're conducting federal property protection.
So you have no concern that there might be Marines that are having a psychological negative reaction to being put on. I'm not saying that they can't do their jobs. I'm saying you have no concerns and you're not preparing for any mental health counseling as a result of this deployment for these 700 Marines.
Senator, we always have mental health counseling available to Marines at all times for any purpose, but I don't have any heightened concerns about this.
Okay. Well, active
constant presence of protesters outside. All eyes are on downtown Chicago as different groups organize protests against immigration and customs enforcement, working, many demonstrators say, in solidarity with protesters in Los Angeles.
We are not going to stand by and let people be taken by ICE.
Jason Riker works with Indivisible Chicago, helping to plan a protest labeled No King's Day this upcoming Saturday.
We are going to push back against that peacefully, non-violently, with a mass demonstration of all the people that believe that, there are no kings here in America.
Chicago will serve as an anchor city for the around 1,800 planned demonstrations this weekend around the country. Today, much smaller protests organized by different community groups have popped up outside immigration court.
There's no sense in deporting these people when they're simply coming to abide by the law. They've been called here to immigration court, and they're coming to do that.
Where Ramon Morales Reyes, a Mexican national who's lived in Wisconsin for 20 years, was released on bond after she determined he was the victim of an alleged setup. Investigators had said this man, 52-year-old Demetric Scott, who faces 4 felony charges for sending 3 letters threatening the life of the president, framed Morales Reyes so that he could not testify against him in another case.
while we're all happy that this case, that the judge has said that this person does not pose a threat, that's only one person. There are many, many other people who are facing the same situation.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Akwat out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say shalom. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, God of the Israelites, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. Alright? And the name of this lesson, when you saw the video I put little snippets in of these clips of the latest news that's been going around, right? Between, the war being kicked off, right? The most recent with Israel bombing the shit out of Iran, all right? You got Trump pulling in the National Guard in LA, right? And as is being said, he did it illegally. He did it without any counsel from his cabinet and governing bodies, right? And as well as Chicago, right? The riotings going on, and Las Vegas, Nevada, right? And these riotings are all based off of the company of ICE, right, with deporting illegals. And people just fed up, man. People are still, believe it or not, in recovery from the C-19. All right, you're still seeing people with the masks because they're still afraid. All right, you still got people, just a lot of pent up aggression. All right, and they're showing more and more and more, especially now too with the whole deal with the Hamas, Israel. All right, so you got a lot of so-called Jewish people all across the world, frantic, upset, pissed off, and of course all these other Muslim nations, especially now with Iran being attacked. All right. And we know that all these things, for those that follow the scriptures, we all know all these things have to happen because this is prophesied. All right. And with that being said, everything's done, within order. Everything's done in decency and order. So we know along with this, all right, there's going to be a time of persecution. Okay. Because they also want to push anybody teaching the Bible. They want to get them out the way. I think they were doing that in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody talking about the Bible, pushing them out the way. And we get it, we understand because the prophets go out there and prophesy, and ever since we've been calling on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, a lot of shit been happening, and they don't like it, and they know who, well, we not the cause, but we're the mouthpiece of the cause, so they're gonna come after us. They're gonna come after the cashier because they see the cashier. They're not gonna come after the manager. They want to talk to the manager, but they also don't want no smoke of the manager, so to say. All right. So without any further ado, the name of this lesson is called "Get Ready." All right, get ready because there's a lot of things that's moving in place right now. All right, a lot of things taking off quickly. All right. And this devil knows he has but a short time left, so he's gonna put out all the stops wherever he can do it. He's gonna do it, and we're seeing that at an all-time high these last few years. All right, especially now. All right, so without any further ado, get ready. This is Matthew 24. I'm gonna read 6 through 13. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." And we've not only been hearing them, but we're seeing. All right, we're seeing these things happen. It says, "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, all these things are happening, but you'll know when the end is right there. You'll know. All right, we're seeing all these things, but the end is not quite here yet. All right, we're still waiting for the MO to the T and the B. I mean, it's already here, but it's not being mandatory push right now. Right, which I'm sure in time it will come, especially now with this whole thing with the riotings. All right, because that's going to implement the martial law. Eventually, that's going to make way for the MO to the T and the B, so they can keep track of people. All right, who's coming in, who's going out, who's buying this and who's buying that, who's selling this, who's selling that. All right, keeping your track of your every move, because they want to know if quote unquote illegals are coming in or out, but really it's so they know where everybody is, so they can when they ready to make a move, they have all this information on hand. They know when you sleep, they know when you awake, and they boom, enemy come in like a flood. All right, it says, "For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing all these things at an all-time high. And again, highlight being, right, kingdom against kingdom, right? You seeing of the people right now, right? You're damn near seeing the civil unrest, right? Because you got the so-called ICE members coming after pretty much Northern Kingdom, kicking them out of the U.S. And this devil's so retarded, he didn't think, well, these are the ones that's working on our crops, working in our fields, okay, and for very little money at that. But they're doing it because it's an opportunity, and these devils know that they paying them shitty, but they've always done that. But they know that Northern Kingdom get down in the field. Well, when you booting all these illegals out, well, you just lost a good majority of your people. Home Depot, right? A lot of them are Northern Kingdom, kicking them out, right? Kicking out people that was already born here, But nonetheless, you got all this uprising, okay? For again, Matthew 24:7 says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Because what's going to happen eventually? You are going to have those famines, right? Not just of the word, but actual famines, because there's going to be a scarcity. You got the tariff situation going on. You got Northern Kingdom being kicked out. All right, so who's working those crops? Who's working those fields? Right, without tending to, right, without anybody culting to them, right? Because the word cult means to tend. Without anybody tending to that, your crops are going to die. Your crops are going to fail. All right, so there's a lot of revenue being lost right there. A lot of storehouses that are not going to be filled. So therefore, whatever's left in these stores, there's going to be an increase in price. Well, a lot of people are already struggling right now to even get by. How much more so when there's an increase in price for food? They're not going to be able to afford it. And those that will be able to afford it, they're gonna buy what they can. And then eventually those people that can't afford it, they're just going to go in there and go fucking take it. Okay? And when that shit runs out, here comes the famine. Right? People digging in garbage cans, going wherever they can to find any food. Pestilences. What comes along with homeless people or people that can't bathe properly or whatnot. Illnesses, sicknesses, right? Eventually deaths. All right? Bodies laying around all over the place. All right? And when there's a body that's been around for so long a period of time, it can emit gases, right? Diseases, okay? So there's going to be a whole lot of pestilences and whatnot going on. Earthquakes, we're seeing that at an all-time high. I think the most recent one was in California, like a 4 point something, all right? In diverse places. We're seeing all these things at an all-time high, all right? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Everybody think, oh man, things are so bad right now. No, nigga, no. We ain't seen shit yet. We haven't seen a damn thing yet, okay? These are only the beginning of sorrows. Imagine that. If this is only the beginning, imagine what the middle and the end will be. If this is the beginning, imagine the middle and the end. Verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that we're seeing that. We know that the prophets are hated. We know what part of that cost is. Are we ready for it? We hope to be. All right, because we understand that if it's our time, it's our time. But we if we have to be deleted, we're being deleted for this truth, man. We're being deleted for Yahawashi sake, and that's what it is, because they're gonna have to come after us. We're the mouthpiece of the Lord. We're ushering all this in. All right, the Ish people already said that the so-called black people in America are the threat. They were in example, they were speaking about us, the prophets. We know it. We're not stupid. We know who they're talking about. Because it ain't the YNs. They're not going after the YNs. They're not pushing them off. They're not doing nothing with them. I mean, shit, they running rampant. They're still out there running rampant. So it ain't them. They're in a rush to get us off the streets. Okay? And be afflicted, yeah? You want to delete us? Hey, so be it, man. The closer, hey, that's the closer we, us getting home. So be it, man. But they also the same thing. They're gonna be doing that to themselves. Okay, don't dismiss that. They're gonna be doing these things to themselves, right? All it takes is a small frenzy. I mean, shit. Again, look at the most recent news with these riots. All it takes is this one little thing, and apparently the whole rioting started with a quote unquote rumor. So think about that. All it takes is a little bit of a frenzy, and it's over with, man. Right? Verse 10, it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another. You're going to have people leaving the truth, right? You're going to have so-called family members and friends and associates going after each other, all right? And shall betray one another and shall hate one another, because it's going to get to the point where ain't nobody fucking happy no more, man. Ain't nobody having a good time. Can't nobody relax. They're just going to be on edge all the time, 24/7. And eventually, well, even a volcano erupts. Everybody's got their things that makes them tick. Right? Everybody is capable of doing things that they think they would never think that they were capable of. I'll leave it at that. And it's going to get to that point. The Lord said it, man. He said it's going to be like a time like never been before, nor ever will be. So think about that. This is the time of Jacob's troubles, man. Jacob meaning you Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians. All right. Verse 11 says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Why are they going to deceive many? Because so many people are going to be lost in the sauce, and they're going to be looking for answers. They're going to be looking and hoping someone has answers. And they're going to get to the point where they're so desperate, if it sounds good, they're going to go towards it. Right? Rather it be true or false. If it sounds good to them, if it sounds anything better than what they're going through, what they're seeing, what they've already believed, they're going to go to it. Okay? And a lot of these false prophets, especially these false Israelite camps, all right, telling you we're going to be here for another 1,000 years, and, Esau can make it in the kingdom, and, well, it says right here, don't abhor Edomite. If you go through the history and see where that how that took place, that's a clerical error, right? It's basically for Samaria, or not Samaria, Assyria, all right? So because they dwelt in that land at that time. You got to remember, the scriptures is for the Israelites. It wasn't for anyone else, right? So when it says don't abhor that particular group, that's a clerical error, but it was just meaning Israelites in that area, all right? But nonetheless, I don't want to get off topic. Again, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Again, anything that sounds good, the people are going to attend to it. All right, because they need answers. They're desperate for answers. Verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we're seeing that. Look at these recent riots, man. Iniquity means lawlessness. So imagine when the law of the land goes away completely, right? Because that's what they're slowly trying to do, is eliminate the Constitution. All right? And that's because the so-called American people have allowed them to do that. How? Because the government knew exactly what they're doing by having you work overtime, making you basically work for crumbs. They want you to work your ass off for crumbs, so you don't have time to complain. You have to work. You have to pay these bills. Keep you so focused on that, you have no idea, no clue what's happening with the government, how they're erasing this and erasing that. They know exactly what they're doing. And as long as they keep feeding you with bread and circus, you have no reason to look over in the direction of the government. You have no reason to question them because you're being entertained, right? You're so down in the dumps that you look for any sort of quality to bring any endorphins or dopamine or serotonin to your body. The bread and circus. Any little thing that can make you smile physically or emotionally, even just for a fragment of a time, compared to what everything going on in the world. That's how these people operate, man. All right? They can't see it far off. So again, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Iniquity is lawlessness. All right? And people are going to get to the point where it's going to be like Mad Max and the Thunderdome, man. It's going to be like the Book of Eli. It's going to be like The Road. No one's going to be with heart, man. They're going to be heartless, right? They're going to be callous to things that they see around them. Callous for things that they may have to do. Okay? Verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And the only ones that's going to be saved in that day are the elect. Nobody else. Right? Even those that have no clue who they serving. Because you're going to have a lot of people, oh, JC, come save me. Help me, JC. I've been a good person all my life. Blah, blah, blah. No. The Lord is only working with the elect. And those calling on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Those that were destined for salvation. Right? They're not going to be part of this fucking world doing worldly shit. Right? They're going to stay glued down and wait patiently for what Yahweh Bashim Shai says unto them what to do. Right? We've already spiritually and mentally separated ourselves from this place, man. Right? We're just like pilgrims passing through, man. You know? This is 2 Ezra 15. I'm going to read 14 through 19. It says, woe to the world, right? Destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Again, all right, I can't stress this enough. We're seeing this right now with this whole rioting business. All right, little fires here and there. Well, what happens when the fire fans out? Right, it becomes a blaze, and that's what's coming. Right, you people in the world, especially here in America, think, oh, it's just little fucking hiccup. No. There is no bomb for America, man. America is made to be destroyed. It's primed for destruction, right? The Lord does everything, like it's like playing chess, man. He moves pieces ahead of time, right? He moves a piece here, he moves a piece there, and he moves it on his time. And everything that he's doing is moving along perfectly, right? For those that got eyes to see. For the sword and their destruction, verse 15, 2 Ezra 15 and 15, for their sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. These people got blickies, man. They were showing a video, these people going to these areas, and there's literally stacks of bricks and rocks and whatever else they had stored, in places for these riots. Now, how the fuck did that get there? Jake ain't got money to go buy fucking slates, full of rocks and bricks and shit like that, man. Let alone blickies is being given out. That shit has been handed out by who knows who, Obviously those in upper echelons of the government and shit like that, because they have access to all that shit. That shit don't just appear out of nowhere. It was put there because they knew what was going to happen. They know how these people get down. They know people got still pent up from the shit that happened a few years ago. All right, they know that a lot of people have lost their jobs. They know people are still continuously losing their jobs. They know people sitting on the edge of their seat wondering if they can pay the bills. People are fed up, man. They're looking for a way to get out because they got places called break houses, where you go there and you get to break shit, let out your aggression, let out your attention. Man, fuck that. I got the whole world in my hand right now. Oh, look at this. I just so happen to be a stack of bricks right here. A whole stack of fucking rocks. You see? Easily accessible. And so therefore, you're going to have these people going out there and doing their shit. One little frenzy, man, and it's a wrap. Okay? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and we're seeing that, and invading one another. They're going to be going inside your crib, breaking inside your crib, grabbing what you got. This is why you don't invite every motherfucker in your house, man. That's stupid. 80% of break-ins are people that you know. All right? And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? They're not going to care about no government officials, man. They're not going to care about none of that shit, man. You see it right now. They don't care about none of that shit, man. Step up if you want to. We seen what happened in LA, man. Crushing them fucking cop cars. Burning, putting cars on fire. Not giving a damn, man. All right? And action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why won't he be able to? Well, eventually shit gonna get shut down. They're gonna have martial law. And they're gonna have these pandemics again. Okay? You ain't gonna be able to do none of that. Shit might be shut down just because it's getting torn the fuck up. It's getting utterly destroyed. And for safety precautions, they're gonna shut shit down. These are the things. Look, that's why look, get ready, man. All right? Get ready. Shit's about to really fucking kick off, man. I'd be surprised if this summer, so-called ends peacefully, as it were. I would be really surprised. Verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? Again, shit gonna be going south quickly. Ain't nobody gonna be at rest. Ain't nobody gonna have peace. Everybody gonna be sleeping with one eye open, man. Trying to maintain with what they got and make plans for what they don't have. Remember who got what at their house. Who said they got what? Who said they live so and so, if just in case shit goes south. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Again, every man for himself type shit. That's what's coming on. That's what's going to be happening. All right? And you know what else happens when things like this happens? All right? We've seen it time and time again, whether it be war or somebody on some murderous rampage or shit like that. That escalates their brain chemicals to feel aroused, right? They get aroused with this type of shit, all right? And so what's going to come with all that? Grapes, right? Broad daylight type shit. Against people's will, maybe even willingly. But we're going to see mankind go south in a way that we've never seen before, man. Okay? Why? Because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. All right? They're gonna be deleting each other. All right? They're gonna be doing what they gotta do because they got a family to feed, they got bills to pay, or whatever the case may be. Right? Shit, motherfucker might be having a fucking a drug fix. He's fiending out. He about to go up somebody's head. Go up in their crib, go in the medicine cabinet and see what the fuck they got. Take their alcohol, whatever. All right? It's going to be whatever goes type shit. All right? Look at that. Look at that. It came across my screen. See? All right? This is Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, right? It could be a day, 10 days, a month, a year, however long, right? But just know that you about to go through it, right? But be thou faithful until death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that's what it all comes down to. We don't give a fuck what the fuck happens, man. I hope I get to see the downfall of my enemy. But if I gotta be laid down in the process, hey, it's all good. Because I know once I wake up, right, rather be the first go round in the chariot, or not, you know, I'm still going to be straight in the kingdom. I hope I make it on the first go round. Lord will. But you know, that's the whole thing about it. That's the whole beauty of coming into this truth, all right, and realizing, hey man, my life ain't shit, man. I'm punished every day for less than I deserve for the iniquities that I've done. You know, so whatever comes my way, hey, that's what it is. It's the Lord's will. Call La Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, and those that's truly sincere with Yahweh Shem Shai, we understand these things, and we're okay with these things. We're prepared for these things. Lord will, you know, and that's pretty much the point. You know, just be prepared. You seen the clip? Be prepared, man. Get ready, cause it's about to fucking go down, bro. Stay vigilant. All right, be sober. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and the elder bishops, a great millstone, all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth. May you be the elect. Stay prayed up, repent. Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom.